am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And we're going to talk about one thing that I do truly love. I've loved ever since I was a fucking kid, and that's wrestling. Wrestling! If you don't know, Wrestlemania is this weekend. Wrestlemania used to just be one day. Now it's two. It's a whole weekend. It's a whole bunch of shit going on. Raw, Monday Night Raw at least, did happen last night. I have yet to watch it, so I don't know what happened yet. I'm going to look at it after I finish doing the content that I need to do. But either fucking way, I am looking forward to WrestleMania 41. If you don't know, my favorite wrestler of all fucking time is John Cena. To me, he is the GOAT, whether he's a face or a heel, and that's kind of crazy because he's been a face for like at least as long as I've been alive, damn near. He's been a fucking face now. That's not true, but damn near. But now he's a heel, and even though he's a heel, I still fucking love him. He follows me on Twitter. I will never not love that man. I can't wait. The day I meet John Cena, I'll cry. It's a few people the day I meet, I'll cry. John Cena, J. Cole. I don't know who else, to be honest. I don't know who else. I don't know. Nobody else really deserves my tears. But them two are some amazing. Honestly, if Kanye wasn't so crazy, he'd be the third. But he's just too off the rockers right now. I'd have to have a real conversation with him before I get emotional. But either way, Cole and Cena, I shed tears if I ever met them. Shed fucking real tears. So of course I'm rooting for John Cena this weekend. Hopefully he becomes the record-breaking world title holder when it comes to professional wrestling with 17. Mr. 17. You can't see him. Anyways, this video is not about John Cena. It's not. It's about another one of my favorite wrestlers. I actually saw Triple H live. I'm hoping to see John Cena live. Hoping, praying, wishing, but who knows? That might happen. It might not. But I done seen Triple H live. I love Triple H. Definitely in my top 5 for sure. Definitely in my top 5. I fuck with Hunter. But he's here to give us some insight. If you don't know, Floyd Mayweather and Big Show had a match during WrestleMania 24. It was a pretty entertaining match, to be honest. Pretty entertaining. But apparently Triple H trained Floyd Mayweather for this fight. Let's listen.
A big boxing fan. I was watching his career, and
I helped him when he wrestled for us and fought Big Show. I helped train him for that.
Yeah. How was he in training? Was he? Awesome. And he was like, good listener, and he was down to do whatever it went through.
I say this all the time. He would show up with like this massive entourage, everybody hooting and hollering and just crazy and all that stuff. And we'd talk for a little bit, and then he'd be like, all right, you want to get down to work? And I'd be like, yeah. And he'd whistle or something, and he'd be like, all right, business, everybody out. And everybody would stop talking. Anybody that stayed would stop talking. Everybody else would get out of the room. And he was like a laser focus.
Wow.
And the first time we trained together, we did like 2 hours or whatever. And then I had to go on the road, and then I came back, I think, to like Vegas or something we get same thing. Everybody's there. He tells everybody to get out. And I go, all right, I just want to review what we talked about last time. He goes, can I say it to you? And he like went on for like 20 minutes and told me like everything. And I was like, what? Damn. All right.
But that's like an unbelievable amount of discipline. Like the thing about Floyd is there's the antics and there's the character, whatever. But like when you watch him in the ring, he's
like a huge WWE fan, right? Growing up. So like that's where the whole Money Mayweather thing
that
came
makes
from.
So much sense.
He had that conversation with me about like, look, I knew Pretty Boy Floyd was only going to get so far.
Yep.
You could make the argument that I was the greatest boxer, but the real argument is what's the greatest box office and how do you make that? I need to create a character, and I need an avenue in which to sell that character. He created the character, and then he went and sold 24/7 to HBO. And then that was the avenue in which to sell the character.
And think about it. When he goes up in weight and starts fighting these bigger guys and he's having some hand problems, he's not really getting these knockouts. He's fighting a much more defensive style. So how do you sell out pay-per-views fighting a style that like casuals might not care? I love it because I love boxing. I'm looking at the best ever.
Do you like the science?
I like it, but not everybody wants the science.
No.
Most don't.
They most don't. So what do? You make yourself hated. You make people root against you, and he becomes this ultimate heel. And people were paying $70 to watch him lose, and he'd never fucking lose.
And the genius of what he did was not only make people hate him, but I will make you believe this other guy
might have a chance.
Ortiz,
yeah.
right? All these guys. This guy's got an unorthodox style,
Yep.
and Floyd's starting to get older. Like he's
Yep.
showing you flaws
Yep.
in his buildup of 24/7. He's showing you the flaws, and there's too much family drama going on. He's not focused.
Yep.
He's not training right. He's eating like shit. All these things. Meanwhile, they're showing Ortiz or these
And
other
he's looking
guys.
incredible.
He looks incredible.
Remember Juan Manuel Marquez was drinking his pee?
Yeah.
Like they were doing
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
like crazy unorthodox training things. You're like,
So,
he's
I
definitely-
walked him to the ring, right? So for the Marquez fight, I walked him to the ring. It was one of the craziest things ever. First of all, I'm backstage with him. I show up and they're like, hey, Champ wants to see us. So I go in the back and he's laying on the couch watching basketball game. I come in and he's like, what's up? And, you know, we talk for a few minutes and then I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to get out of your hair. Let me go back out here. And he's like, no, man, you ain't in my hair. I'm just watching the game. I got money on this. He's like, I'm just sitting here. You want to hang out? Sit down, man. Hang out. So I'm like, okay. So I sit down for a few minutes. We talk a little bit. As soon as it's breaking the conversation, I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to get out of your way and let you do your thing. He's like, I'm telling you, man, I'm just sitting here. I said, well, I know it's game day, man. I know you got shit to do. He's like, if I haven't done all the shit I need to do before today,
I'm fucked.
I've already lost.
Yeah.
I've done everything there is to do. Ain't nothing going to change it now. I'm going to put my gloves on a little bit. You can sit through the whole thing. I'm going to start to warm up. Then I'm going to go out there and fight.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And like, okay, I sat down and he just went back to watching the game like he was Saturday
other day,
on his
right?
couch.
Yeah.
And then the other crazy thing was I sit there. At one point, he's talking shit to like Bernard Hopkins. He's in the corner. Marquez is throwing punches at him, and he's leaning back, talking shit in between bobbing and weaving, talking shit to fucking Bernard Hopkins.
Wow.
Which I'm like, crazy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, Floyd Mayweather is most certainly the greatest boxer of all time. Now, is he the greatest knockout puncher? No. But when it comes to like just the technicality of boxing, nobody could touch him. He couldn't get hit. He couldn't get hit. His punching power didn't matter. How much he fucked his opponent up didn't matter. And he was fucking niggas up. He was just fucking them up for 12 rounds. he was just like, look, I'm going to take my time with you because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to touch me. So regardless of it, you know, you could argue Muhammad Ali. You could argue Mike Tyson. You could argue a lot of people. But at the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time. And so this is cool to hear this insight, at least into his brain and how he trains and how he's just so precise and he's so laser focused on everything. That is good to know, at least. And he did sell the character of heel, Money Mayweather, for a really long time. He's still doing it, to be honest. He's still selling that character. But you hear people talk about Floyd, they say he's an amazing person. He's an amazing trainer. He's an amazing coach. He's the greatest boxer ever. Like, you know, at the end of the day, the character that he portrays is just to sell tickets. Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. Let me know what y'all think about all this in the comments below. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know. I am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV, and I just made a wrestling video. Peace.